And good evening, everybody. Man, what a crazy episode of Worldwide. Kickoff to a whole new era, as people have deemed it, even though end of an era is not but a few months away. Show-wise, I mean. Want to know what you thought about the show tonight? Call in live right now, 434-710-4900. 434-710-4900. Don't call me Joey. People in the chat room already starting. And, man, a lot going on this week. A lot going on this week, guys. A lot of new subscribers. I want to get subscriber shout-outs out of the way first, so let me get that pulled up here. And then we can get going here. Let me also share this link on Twitter. Even though it automatically gets shared, but I feel the need to share the direct link anyway. Let me see here. Got a couple DMs coming in here. All right. Here we go. Let's get to some subscriber shout-outs. We've had a few new subscribers this week, so I want to thank you very much for subscribing. So let's start things off here. Let me see. I don't know if we got to this guy or not last week, so I'll go ahead and do it again. Mr. Kevin Benikoff, thank you so much for subscribing. Let me move the phone number out of the way. Let me move the phone number up here. How about that? There we go. And so thank you very much, Kevin, for subscribing here. Mr. Reed Benson also subscribed. I come to see a man get his ass whipped. Thank you. Hey, yeah, that's right. We're changing it up this week. You see that? We're changing it up this week. People said they didn't like hearing the people didn't like the Vince McMahon ear tug, so we got Paul Bearer, and now we got Dirty Daddy and Kane Justice there. So thank you very much, Mr. Reed Benson, for subscribing. We all know who this guy is. Thank you, Dylan Waco. That's Dylan Hales, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Dylan, for hitting that subscribe button. And our last subscriber here this week is a guy who watched the Raw AfterShow last week with me, Mr. RJ Elite. Elite, RJ Elite. Thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button. Before anything else happens here, I want to remind you folks that February 10th, CWF Mid-Atlantic presents CWF Strong, and that is taking place, of course, at the Mid-Atlantic Sportatorium, bell time of, I believe, 7:30. Get your tickets now at CWF Mid-Atlantic, or CWFtickets.com. Also at CWFtickets.com, they are doing a special commemorative T-shirt here. I want to get the name of this charity right, so excuse me here for one moment. It says here, all proceeds from this will go to help a local confidential counseling center. Thank you to American Lucha for doing the T-shirts. And if you want to see what that T-shirt looks like, just go over to CWF Mid-Atlantic on Twitter, and you can find pictures there. It's a very cool-looking T-shirt. I will be picking one up, hopefully. I would like to sit there and say I'm going to be there on the 10th, but right now things are a little bit rocky. Hopefully we'll be there on the 10th. Let me see here. Whoa. Hell, how about that? Mike Mars just subscribed. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Very much so. I got to find something else to do with this phone number. Now it's been completely flipped around. There we go. The OBS is screwing with me tonight. So if you want to call in, 434-710-4900. A lot of people already tonight not liking the fact that Roy Wilkins is carrying around that belt. They're throwing things around like, oh, it's illogical. Well, you know what? Maybe it's not illogical. But, again, have a little faith here. Nothing is better than Kane. So thank you, Mike Mars, for subscribing very much to the channel. Thank you for tuning in, for those of you who are tuning in. Before we get to the review tonight, let me do this. Before we get to the review, I was handed a piece of footage a few days ago. And the footage, speaking of the man who is claiming to be champion right now, Roy Wilkins, which we'll get to that angle here in a minute. We will get into it tonight, folks, because, man, did I get a lot of heat this week from the online community. And I just asked one thing, have a little faith, and I told you so. I hate to say I told you so, but I did tell you so. Is it the exact same worldwide that we've been accustomed to for 140 episodes? No. But the sky's not falling yet, boys and girls. So I want to play a little bit of this footage. This footage was handed to us by an anonymous source. And I want to play this for you. Apparently it has a cameo, a couple of cameos here from Roy Wilkins. And apparently this is a very old piece of footage. It's not in HD, so bear with us here. But the guy, it was delivered to me on a unlisted site, and kind of like I had to go into the dark depths of Twitter to even acknowledge this person and message this person. But here we go. I believe this is called, what is this called here? Let me look at my notes here. Yeah, it's called The Little Ninja That Could. And it has a cameo from Roy Wilkins in it. Let's take a look right now at The Little Ninja That Could.
Ninja! Okay, I'll be right there. I just have to go to the bathroom first.
Other side. The agency has a job that requires the skills of a ninja.
Yay. What's this?
The newest threat to America's freedom, poisonous bubble wrap. It's filled with anthrax, sarin, LSD, and nutmeg. Do you know what happened if this poisonous bubble wrap made it to the shipping industry?
I have no idea.
We need you to find the source and report back to me.
Understood.
And should you be captured, the agency will deny your existence.
Yes, everything is all set to go. I'm bringing the poison anthrax bubble wrap over right now. Yes, Mr. Cobra. We will make those Americans pay.
Excuse me, can you let me out right up here?
Hey, how did you get to my car?
Don't worry about it, just let me out. You're right up, right here, right here.
Okay, hold on.
Jesus Christ, what took you so long?
I don't know. I did get a name. Mr. Cobra. Hey!
Damn. We need more information. Go back, find out some more shit, and report back to me.
Hey! I forgot my sword. See ya.
Oh, Klaus, you found the most powerful weapon in the world. Yeah. It's a poisonous bubble wrap. Yeah. With anthrax and LSD and nutmeg. Yeah, and sarin gas. Yeah. We could kill millions of people with this. Yeah. Yeah, and they'll all have to use my shipping company because we're the only ones that don't have anthrax in our bubble wrap. Yeah. It would be so much fun to kill all those people.
9!
What are you doing? Huh? What? What was that? Huh? What the hell? Who was that? Who was that?
So, what'd you find out?
The German, Mr. Cobra, they plan on killing millions of people.
Where?
Everywhere.
Damn. You have to stop them.
I know.
The fate of the country's in your hands.
Oh yes, hello, is this UPS? Yes, I would like to ship my grandmother's vase. Oh no, that would not be necessary. We have our own bubble wrap.
He's poison.
Yeah.
Wow. We are really doing it this time.
Yeah, we really are terrorists.
We should be proud.
Yeah.
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 To celebrate that, we'll go smoke a cigarette over there.
Yeah.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Farewell. Look out for killer chipmunks.
Yay, the terrorists are winning.
Jackpot.
Hello, Ninja.
The Cobra.
You cannot stop us. UPS is already on their way. And you know what else, stupid? I'm not really the Cobra. Yeah, I'm actually...
TV personality Barbara Jones. Psych, that's a lie too. I'm actually...
Huzzah!
Special Agent Smith?
That's right, bitch.
This doesn't make any sense.
It never does. Now give me back my poison bubble wrap.
No. You know, it's just like my mother always said.
What's that?
Never mess with a ninja with a handful of poisonous bubble wrap. Hi-ya! Ooh, I chopped your head off, but before I did that, I cut your skin off, bitch!
What in the blue hell was that? Oh man, there it is. The little ninja that could. I was handed that yeah, what in the world? I was handed that earlier in the week, and I was like, all right, I got to play this on the after show. so at least Roy Wilkins has an acting credit under his name, and he can wear fake mustaches pretty well, just like he's wearing I won't say a fake title around his waist, but anyway. Worldwide episode 141 this week. is, of course, part of their New Year's Knockout show. We opened up with a little last week on Worldwide segment, of course, and heavily edited. CL Party kicks it off. She's interrupted by the All-Stars, and we got a little promo by the coach saying, he's going to be nice to CL, and he hasn't been I give it 3 ninja stars. He says that the coach says he hasn't been this happy since he got the divorce papers in the mail from his 6th wife, which CL Party popped for that. I thought that was pretty good. Let's see here. CL Party's asking, why are you carrying around the belt and calling yourself champion when you didn't beat Trevor? And coach is sitting there going, no, that ain't the question you should ask me. You're supposed to ask things like, how's your new shoes that you went out and bought with the money that you got from that title match? And how was things in Hawaii and everything like that? So I thought this was an excellent promo here by the coach to kick things off. And I got to say, some people on the internet's going, there's no logic in this storyline. And why isn't William Cross coming out there and going, hey, why is this happening? Blah, blah, blah. I'm sitting there going, okay. The CWF has never really defied logic and gone with sports entertainment stuff. And how do you figure that? Every time the coach gets caught interfering in a match, ref doesn't call for a DQ, since we're having to play things by the book here and you want authority and introduced here. Coach has never really thrown out of ringside. Coach has never been, thrown, coach has never really been dealt with. The All-Stars always seem to get, their comeuppance in the end. That's what's, hell, in half of 2017, every time the coach would cook up a plan, it would end. It would end it badly for them. This is no exception. It's one show and people are bashing the booking already. I hear, walk into a job wearing a name tag that says boss when you're only just an underling and see if they don't fire you. Isn't this pro wrestling? Isn't this a company where we were driving beer trucks to the ring, and or isn't this a business where at the height of it we were driving beer trucks to the ring and monster trucks to the ring, and we all like that. K Fabian in the chat room, you used to be very critical of yourself on this very show. I am critical of the booking, and here's what I will say. I will say that if this does not, it all ties back to last year when we first started this after show. Eric Andrews had a match for the TV title, and somebody touched the title. And when somebody touched the title, my former co-host Jeff Edwards goes, "Why didn't Andrews flip his shit because his belt had been touched?" And we debate, and I agreed with that. Somebody touches my title, I'm going to go ape shit. Well, they should have put some kind of logic here as to why Trevor wasn't able to come out and do anything on this show. I do agree with that point. But this is a business where stolen title angles were done all the time back in the day. And I got to say, let it play out a little bit. I said it, to the guy I was chatting with on Twitter today. I said, tonight, I said, now if they do something on February 10th, they've advertised Trevor for the 10th. He's on the poster. Even harking back to last year, the whole, after we had the debate of Eric Andrews' title getting touched, a few months later, Roy Wilkins' title gets touched by somebody, Trevor's title gets touched by somebody. And Trevor flipped his shit. That's my fucking title. And he started beating the fuck out of whoever it was. The name escapes me. So here's the thing. They should have said, Trevor is unable to compete this week. Or Trevor is in the hospital after that beating, or had his larynx crushed or something. Something to explain it. I do agree with that part. I do agree with that part. But the whole thing of, they got to come out and just take the title. Cross has to come out there and take the title back. Just say, nope, you're not the champion. Give me the belt. Okay. If William Cross came out and did that and said, give me the title back, if I'm Roy Wilkins, I'm sitting there going, and I suppose a man like you is going to come over here and do it? Get your ass to the back. It's my belt now. There's your logic behind that. What was supposed to happen? Cross is supposed to come out there, and go, that belt's not yours. You're not the champion. Give it back. And Roy Wilkins is the technical wizard. Roy Wilkins is supposed to go, okay. Sorry. Yeah, it was. It was Trevor's belt was touched by Andrews and when they had that match. You're absolutely right. Thank you, Jonathan Miller. Kay Fabian in the chat room. I think it's always safe to assume Trevor was booked somewhere else. Well, you don't have to pull the he was booked somewhere else card every time. Like I said, say, hey, he's still reeling from being hanged by the rope. I do agree that they could have mentioned something about why Trevor hasn't came back yet, and that would have hammered it home a little bit more for me. I'm not saying the angle's perfect. I'm not saying the booking of this is perfect. But to sit there and go, they're slapping us in the face. They're slapping CWF in the face. They're going the sports entertainment route. I've always been the type of to sit there and there was a manager in PWX. His name escapes me now, who was the sports entertainment manager. And we don't need none of that pro wrestling. This is sports entertainment. He used to manage Ethan Case and Elijah Evans. I forget his name. I'm sorry, dude, if he's listening to this, but he was a damn manager. And I, as a fan, I'm sitting there going, can't we have both? Can't we have a little Gaga thrown in there? We're talking about a company who did an 80s night and a pop-up video show. Come on. And I love both of those. Pop-up Worldwide's okay. 80s night is okay. Christmas episodes are okay. And they're all canon. But having somebody pretend to have the belt and pretending like he's the champion, that's crossing the line. That's sports entertainment. That's trash. Come on. Tommy Thomas. Thank you, Jonathan Miller. Yep. That was the manager I was talking about in PWX. I haven't been to a PWX show since the first X16 tournament, so forgive me. Anyway, they're saying that he did say, I thought for a minute they said he would defend the title, so they are acting like these are title defenses, quote-unquote title defenses. And the thing is, the crowd live seemed to buy it. I was there live. The crowd live chanting, thief. It's not your title. It's Trevor's belt. So the crowd live likes it. The crowd live is buying into this. So we get so Coach says, I contacted AAW in Chicago, Danny, the booker up there. I told him to send his champion down. I contacted the California boys of PWG, told him to send their champion. He goes, I even contacted Dave Prazak and told him to send his women's champion down here. I thought it was the promo was very well done. So then after that, we got a new opening. Coach, before the opening, Coach says, I got a champion already lined up. And before, the crowd was already into this. The crowd, the live crowd was a lot of empty seats. It's actually better. They had a lot better of attendance than I thought they were for this show. Usually, and you got to remember, too, this is the first big show, or this is the first show after a big show like Battlecade. When you have one of their big-time shows, like a Battlecade or a Rumble, the show after the Rumble drew less than this. I'm not going to say that the recent events that were happening didn't help contribute to the attendance, because a lot of people came out to support CWF. I'm looking at PW in the chat room. Sorry. So a lot of people came out to support the company as well. They should have. A lot of people are coming out on February 10th as they should. So I'm not going to say that didn't have something to do with it. But there were more, there was more people there than I thought there was going to be. So we got a new opening. I'll be honest, everybody on the internet marking out over the new opening. I like the new opening except for the fact of they've had plenty of time to get this opening together. And they didn't, they showed in the opening, they were showing Roy. They showed CW. They showed Andrew Everett, who hasn't really been there but one time in the last, 1 or 2 times in the last year. And then they showed Trevor, and I'm sitting there going, where's Ethan in the opening? Where's Biggs in the opening? Where's Eric Andrews in the opening? It's okay if he's got negative things to say, John Miller. By the way, if you'd like to give your opinion here on this episode, please feel free to call in live, 434-710-4900. That's 434-710-4900. Love to put you on the air and have you let us know what you thought about tonight's episode. But our opening match was Ethan Alexander Sharp versus Chet Sterling, and Ethan Alexander Sharp has a new T-shirt. Who designed that T-shirt for him? Well, it's our sponsor, our official, unofficial sponsor, American Lucha Designs. Listen, if you need graphic designing done, any type of graphic designing done, if you need merchandise, if you need a new logo for your podcast, rumor is this new podcast is getting a new logo soon. The boys over at American Lucha Designs can hook you up. Head on over to their newly revamped website, www.americanluchadesigns.com, for more information. We have a caller coming through. Let me try not to screw this up here. 919, you're right here on the official, unofficial CWF Mid-Atlantic After Show. Who is this?
Hey, it's Mario.
Hey, Mario. What's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Not bad. I just got through plugging your website in your business there.
Fantastic. I appreciate it.
Not a problem.
We always love it.
What'd you think? What'd you think of tonight's episode?
Man, I thought tonight's episode was excellent. I couldn't. There was a couple of things like you were touching on earlier that were in there, like the intro and the things like that. But to me, to be honest, I didn't even notice that kind of stuff. Like, I was at the live show. The live show was fantastic. It sounded like in the live show, I heard a couple of people mention like the crowd, being smaller. Like that's to be expected for the first show after a really big show like Battlecade. And but the numbers in the live show were actually pretty darn good, I thought.
Yeah, I just got through saying that I thought that they were really good considering, and maybe, like I said before, maybe the recent controversy and everything going on with the promotion behind the scenes helped out a little bit because everyone wanted to come out and support the guys. And there was a lot of people there who had not been there in quite a while, fan-wise and talent-wise. I mean, we got Smith Garrett on commentary tonight.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Like I really enjoyed like both the live show and the worldwide episode tonight. I thought they did a fantastic job. I heard them mention the technical difficulties a couple of times, and honestly, they aren't that noticeable. Like, yeah,
there
was a little bit of
a feedback audio buzz in the throughout the whole show, and nobody be blaming the new technical crew for that, because there were a couple episodes back in the day when Worldwide first started that had the same problem. So I don't want to hear it,
Yeah, I think I really enjoyed it though. Like, I really thought it was very well done. Like, I thought the wrestlers did a great job as usual. And the matches, the setup for the matches were excellent. The castings for the matches, like the way they had them set up tonight, those matches were fantastic. Every one of them had like their own special flair to it, and I just really enjoyed it. I was very, very happy with it.
Ethan Alexander Sharp versus Chet Sterling was actually very good live, and I thought it came across well on TV. A lot of people this week were complaining about how they they heard that there was longer matches, and people kind of groaned at it. This match went 8 minutes, I think it did. It wasn't that long at all. I mean, in fact, it seemed longer live than it did on TV.
Right, and it was action-packed, too. Like, Seth Sterling came out, I mean, charged. Like, he looked fired up tonight. And, and he had he has that stage presence, right? He has that way about him that really gets the crowd, like, electrified. And conversely, Ethan Sharp also has that very same effect, but on the opposite end of the spectrum. Ethan Sharp is one of those awesome, awesome heels that just has that way of really getting you to hate him.
Yeah, I mean the opening of the match where he's like, you want to buy my shirt, you want my shirt, and then he throws the shirt in the face of Chet and goes with the beat down, and that just puts him over as a bigger heel, and he had a banner year in 2017. I mean, the whole
really
promotion did. But Ethan Alexander Sharp is one of those standouts to me. Again, it seemed like from Absolute Justice forward last year, the core CWF guys were like, and I've said it before, it seems like a thing shifted last year from these out-of-town guys like Alex Daniels, a Logan LaRoe, and even a Chip Day. They're coming in showing us up, and we're not getting no love from this audience. And it seemed like ever since Absolute Justice, people like an Eric Andrews and Ethan Alexander Sharp, they took it, they took that dial and they turned it up with their character and with their work. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. They completely stepped up their game. I mean, even from, what was the show in Chapel Hill? The last show in Chapel Hill, where it was Ethan Sharp versus Fage. From that point, as recently as that show, which was only 6 months ago, maybe, if that.
Yeah.
Even since that show, like, Ethan Sharp has really stepped his game up. Like, he's almost a completely different wrestler than he was back then. His confidence level is off the charts. Like, you can tell he's just much more sure of himself now, and not only his ability, but his his general demeanor. He just seems so confident when he steps into that ring. Like, every time he steps into the ring now, it's like he owns the damn ring.
Would you agree with me if I said that as far as Chet Sterling goes, it's kind of like Chet Sterling ever since he won that Weaver Cup has kind of been dialed back a little bit?
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Like, he's still got the same, and he's still got a lot of energy. He's a fast-paced wrestler, right? He's a fast-paced competitor. But I've definitely noticed that as well.
I noticed that the new graphics were all over this show. Like, even the little hashtag thing in the bottom left-hand corner was a new font. I mean, it's little crap like that I noticed tonight, and it just had a fresh feel. It's a new year, Even Cecil Scott is like, "New year, new you," So I mean, it's new, folks. There's gonna be a period of adjustment. That's all I could say, man. I don't know how active you are with the online community, but did you see that video I did the other day about people needing to give this a chance? What's your thoughts on all this, man? Because a lot of backlash out there the last few weeks.
Yeah.
You were there live with me. I mean, as somebody who doesn't do the after show, who really, doesn't come on here on a regular basis, what would you have to say about all this?
Well, with everything that's been going on with Stutz being let go and all the reverberation, I haven't been paying as close attention as I'd like to, between work and everything else. But, I am aware of everything that's going on. And I've seen the reaction from the online community, and I've seen the reaction from the crowd live. And I'll tell you, there's been a larger number of people than I would have thought that immediately had backlash to the CWF, and that was surprising to me.
It was,
because it was very surprising to me because from ever since I started going to CWF matches live, and ever since I started watching Worldwide, this company has the utmost level of professionalism in everything that it does. Right? These guys genuinely care about the product that they're putting out. They don't just slap stuff together and call it a show. You can see the passion that these guys have in every performance, not just the wrestlers, but the staff behind the scenes, the writers, everybody. You can see the passion they have for what they do. And so for everybody to immediately assume, or not everybody, but at least the number of people that did, that to immediately assume that CWF has somehow screwed up and like shook their foundation as a fan. It's almost
a Chicken Little mentality. The sky is falling,
Right, and it's not at all. Like I don't get that feeling at all. My internal read, like when everything first happened, when everything broke, right, is there was a lot of speculation, and then CWF made their statement, got out in front of it, and from the moment the news broke and CWF made their statement, my initial thoughts went from, well, this could be, a big thing. It changed immediately and went to, all right, well, this is going to pass in like a day or two. And I'm surprised we're even still talking about it, because the reality is, these guys are all great. Like, these wrestlers are all great.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody there is still the same level of professionalism, just less one or two more people.
Here's the impression that I got. And Kay Fabian in the chat room says need to fix the audio issues, and there was some editing issues tonight. That's because here's a couple things. Grant, as far as the editing goes, that was the number one thing about that people said was the editing's going to go to hell. It's not going to look as good. It's not going to be looking as good as if Grant shot the show. And guess what? It's not. Nobody can replace a Grant Sawyer, in my opinion. Nobody. Right. But it's not like the show's not, it's not. I mentioned to somebody online, it's not like they took the show back to 480p and are shooting it in black and white.
Exactly. Exactly. Like there's definitely a learning curve, right? Because whenever you transition away from somebody as talented as Grant Sawyer,
and another thing,
and go towards anybody else.
Another thing,
you go towards anybody else.
The cameraman, one of the cameramen, that's all right. The floor cameraman tonight, or that was shooting the show. He's the same guy that Grant was dropping F-bombs ad nauseum to a few months back. Josh Bear wasn't there. Give Josh Scrappy Bear a chance to come back and take his spot back as a floor camera, and things may be better. The company is, kayfabe, the company is losing two very important people, and there's, like I said, nobody could take anything away from, and I've said this, I'm not taking anything away from that era of CWF. I'm not taking anything away from it. But it really, like you said, it really shocked me when a online community that is, holding this company up as much as they have and for the whole year, for that to sit there and go, to just instant snubbing was just crazy to me.
Yeah, but I feel like the pendulum has swung back the other direction now as well.
For tonight,
like
yeah.
I feel like after tonight's show, like after the live show and then the airing of CWF Worldwide tonight, I feel like the pendulum is swinging. Everybody knows that there's a couple of technical issues to get over. There's the learning curve for the camera. That stuff that's going to be learned along the way. But there was a lot of really good highlights from tonight that I think way overpower the minute, small details that could have been done a little bit better. And that's the reality, and that's what I expected. Like when they, like I was saying earlier, when they came out with their announcement, my immediate reaction shifted to this could be a big deal. It shifted from that to this isn't going to be a big deal at all. These guys are going to be fine. Company's just going to move forward. They're still going to have a great year. Each of these wrestlers is going to continue to grow. Each of these storylines are going to continue to grow. Like you were saying, I don't want to take away from that era of CWF either, but you also kind of have to look to the future now, and because that's the reality of the situation. There's going to be a couple of things that are going to need to transition, but those are things that I'm not worried about at all. Those are things that could ultimately be better for the company in the long run and make it stronger.
Yep.
And that's what I'm looking forward to seeing. And that's like my overall opinion on the whole situation is more of a sense of optimism than anything else.
They couple people online talking about the logic of this Roy Wilkins situation and the storyline, talking about how it's sports entertainment, not pro wrestling, and how CWF is never went down the, I shoved back at him, logic, you're talking about pro wrestling here. Since when has logic?
To be honest, I was actually asking the enforcer JG that very question like last week. I was like, why are they letting him hold on to this belt? Like, why haven't they just come out and said, give me the belt back, you special person.
How fucking lame
give me
would that
belt.
be?
It's not yours.
How lame would that be storyline wise?
Right. That's exactly
and
what.
as a
what
guy
the
like
enforcer was
Roy
saying.
Wilkins, co-star of The Little Ninja That Could, by the way, a guy like Roy Wilkins is just going to say, okay, here's your belt back, and not put up a fight and go, oh, yeah, you're right, here's your belt. No.
We should start the Roy Wilkins #nutmeg.
Yeah, #Roy Wilkins nutmeg. We got Johnny P's cream of rice and now Roy Wilkins nutmeg on the show. That's
what's really good about it. And here's the angle that I don't think people are focusing on. Like I think a lot of people are upset that he's being allowed to hold on to this belt, but the reality is exactly what you just said. What kind of story would it be if they just immediately took it back? And now consider the alternative.
I think in a lot of
Trevor
people's,
Lee has been out.
A lot of
right?
people's
Trevor
mind,
Lee has been out. He got hurt at the last one. They hung him with the rope, for God's sake. And but imagine what Trevor Lee is going to do to Roy Wilkins when he steps back into that ring to reclaim his belt. It's going to make for an epic match. You know that there is going to be some fire and fury raining down in that ring when Trevor Lee steps back in there, and that is going to be electrifying, and I can't wait for it. They are building the anticipation for that, and that is the angle that I'm looking at.
I think in a lot of people's minds, they should never have went in the whole Roy Wilkins steals the title. Like, what were you going to... a couple things about this that was said to me, because I did hang out for a little bit after New Year's Knockout. You won't bring Roy bubble wrap at the next show. Somebody's got to have bubble wrap. We got to pop bubble wrap during all of his promos now and just drown out the promo.
And nutmeg.
Bubble wrap and nutmeg, yes. Oh, shit. Oh, man, what did I start? Anyway, y'all, that's a T-shirt from American Lucha Designs, Roy Wilkins brand nutmeg. Just like a nutmeg.
You're joking right now, but I'm totally going to start working on that graphic tonight.
But, I mean, here's the thing, though. What were they supposed to do? Just have Trevor carted off to the back and then have Roy Wilkins come out there and cut a promo about how he was screwed and there won't no blood. It was fake blood. Look at the bars. Do something like that there, you know. And another thing is, like I said, I got to hang out a little bit at the last show and talk with some people. And one thing I found out was they only had a week to put this show together. They only had a week. Are you kidding me? Yeah, the Stutz thing happened right after the RGL show. And this was the Saturday after the RGL show.
They put that whole show together in 1 week.
1 week.
That's amazing, actually.
To get, okay, I mean, so, yeah. Did you expect him just to sit there and go, Brad, what did you have next? No offense to Brad. It could have been anybody who got fired, Okay, we're getting rid of our booker. We're deciding to go in a new direction. But, hey, on the way out, could you tell us what you had planned for next week's show? No, it doesn't happen like that, guys.
No.
So
no, when something like that happens, it's immediate ties cut, done.
Yeah, I mean,
so for them
on.
to redirect this quickly and reorganize this quickly, I'm actually even more impressed now.
Hell,
I didn't know they put that together in a week.
Okay.
I thought that was all already planned out.
Let's just say that the title belt angle of Roy stealing the belt, because there has been speculation of the ending of Battlecade, was booked by somebody other than Stutzy. Well, first of all, Bruce Mitchell mentioned in his column that Trevor Lee's been booking his own damn title program for the last year, so maybe this is all Trevor's deal. Maybe this is Trevor's booking. So I don't see anybody sitting there blaming Trevor for this tonight on Twitter, going, hey, Trevor, the booking shit, It's not logical, Trevor. Trevor Lee, it's not like, you're really going to tell Trevor Lee that his booking of his title program is not logical. Okay, let me know how that goes.
Well, and the reality, too, is if you look back at it, logic or no logic, look at what they're building up to. And, that's what you have to focus on. Mm-hmm. I feel like everybody's missing where the focus should be.
Now,
Stop trying to make sense of it and try to think of what Trevor's going to do when he steps back into that ring. That's what I'm excited
And it's not
about.
like WWE where they've screwed you over 15 fucking times in 1 year. Once you start to put a little bit of faith in them, bam, they smack you in the face. CWF hasn't done that. And I even said on Twitter tonight, now if they come out on February 10th and Trevor does nothing, Trevor doesn't come out with piss and vinegar in his veins, he doesn't come out there whooping ass and calling, if I'm them, Trevor opens that show going, I want my fucking belt back right now,
Right.
Get the fuck out
Right.
here, give me my fucking belt. I don't care how many of them little piss ants you have with you, I'm getting my belt back.
Watch him, I want to watch Trevor Lee destroy every member of the All-Stars piece by piece, brick by brick, dismantle the whole playhouse, and then burn every one of Jerry Carey's pairs of shoes. That's what I want to see happen.
Hold on here. We got another call here. Hold on. See if I can add him in. 336. Who is this? 336. Who is this?
Hey, this is Ethan Sharp calling to inform you that it's a nice little show you got here, but I think what you really need to be focused on is the important things in life, which is buying my shirt.
Yeah, we've already mentioned the shirt that is beautifully designed by American Lucha Designs. Is this really Ethan Sharp?
I mean, are there Ethan Sharp impersonators I should know about?
How are you?
You don't
tonight,
recognize
Ethan?
that voice?
Because if they are, I'm going to sue them for copyright infringement and get even more money.
How are you tonight, Ethan?
I am doing very well because business is booming. People are buying my shirts, which, by the way, for those of you listening right now, buy my shirt.
This is awesome, folks. Ethan Alexander Sharp, former RGL champion. Ethan,
Future millionaire after
future
everyone buys my
millionaire.
shirt.
After everybody buys the shirt.
Don't forget Washington Post and
Cibernetico winner. Yeah.
there it
Yep.
is.
Ethan, have you been listening to the show tonight? What's your thoughts on everything that's been kind of discussed here? I'm supposed to be reviewing the show right now, but I got to tell you, a lot of people online are sitting there going, 20 minutes with Cool J. Oh, my God. And then I'm like, I thought it was a hell of a match. I thought your match was good tonight, Ethan, as always.
My matches are always good. That's why you should buy my shirt, because I put out quality matches and I put out quality merch.
I want to ask you here, since I got you here, since you called in, I want to ask you, we were discussing how this past, the last 6 months, 7 months for you, you've kind of changed. And I kind of want a shoot answer from you, not in character, please. But what has been your focus? What has kind of happened? If you could tell us a little bit behind the scenes of what changed. What changed not only with you, but I guess the rest of the locker room has had to change too. But specifically with you, you're a totally different character. Did you realize, hey, that I got to make some changes here?
Well, first of all, I'll say it's interesting you bring up this concept, this subject of characters. There's no character to Ethan Sharp. There's just Ethan Alexander Sharp.
If anybody's talked to Ethan, this is Ethan, folks.
But I will say this. The turning point for me, as far as what made me decide I needed to change things up, was when I was not a participant in the six-pack challenge at End of an Era earlier that year. When I realized that you had all these other people getting a shot at the title and not me, that was when I decided this hokey jokester bullshit has to stop.
There you go. I will say that you've been kind of getting away from the whole, I don't want to say it, but I will say it, the whole $1 Million Man thing is kind of weaned down, and you've changed you had the I call it the fistful of dollars, that bus driver shit. I'm like, nothing about Ethan says bus driver. It's the fistful of dollars. I love that finisher, by the way. I've been loving all of your matches, man.
It's very powerful. It knocks out teeth.
I've been loving your matches. I got to tell everybody, go buy Ethan's shirt. Come up to us on February 10th. Buy the shirt, or come up to Ethan on February 10th.
Yes, actually, buy. Don't just buy my shirt. Buy the CWF Strong shirt. It's for a good cause. You will get the warm, fuzzy feeling in your soul that you can only get when you support good charities and good causes. It's also an excellent shirt to buy.
Ethan Alexander Sharp, the Grinch himself, talking about putting warm, fuzzy feelings in your heart for a good cause. How about that? I got to ask Ethan, tonight's episode, man, and this whole new era, what can you say that, I mean, I often get from the CWF wrestlers that they care about what happens locally, not so much about the online stuff. The online stuff and worldwide is what it is. It's about putting, your job as a wrestler is to sell tickets and put on good matches and, put asses live in the seats, because if nobody comes there live to see you, what the hell is the point? But you guys do have a strong online presence. You doubled your online presence, it seems, in 2017. I guess, what could you say, I guess the message I've been trying to convey to people is have a little faith, see where things are going, don't give up, the sky's not falling yet. Would you agree with that mentality? Absolutely.
I mean, I think, quite frankly, the changes that have been made will only serve to improve this company for the better. We handled some business that needed to be handled, and I think as a result, the morale and the desire to improve and to step one's game up is only just going to continue as people see new opportunities presenting themselves as a result of this new era.
If I could add on to that too, there seems to have been a unifying effect as well that I've noticed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
I still hate everybody. But everybody else is kind of come together in support of making this company great.
That's awesome.
Ethan, even the equal opportunity hater.
Ethan,
absolutely. There's no discrimination with me. I hate everybody equally.
Kay Fabian in the chat room says the pessimistic fans are sticking around to see what happens, and it's up to CWF to prove it's going to continue to be a product we will be loyal to. Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's no doubt about that. It's up to the people that are there now to step up and say, hey, we're taking the bull by the horns, and you're absolutely right. But Ethan, before we let you go tonight, man, I want to get you on as a guest for a full interview another time, but is there anything else you have to say to the people tonight? Of course, buy your T-shirt, but is there anything else?
Yes, buy my T-shirt.
Thank you for calling in, Ethan. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Bye-bye. Mario, are you still with me?
Yeah, still with you, man.
All right, good. That was Ethan Alexander Sharp, folks, trying to put everybody's minds at ease, and, of course, buy his T-shirt. Mario, you guys are rolling over there at American Lucha Designs. Is there anything new coming out that we could look forward to? Of course, you guys did the CWF Strong T-shirt that everybody should be buying, as all proceeds go to help a really good cause. I believe it's Crossroads. The name of the counseling center is Crossroads there in Alamance County. Anything else new on the horizon coming up for you guys? Of course, I'm sure you guys will be there on the 10th as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we got a full plate. We got a full plate on us right now. I'm not going to go into any details other than to say that we are currently in negotiations with 2 or 3 other wrestlers that we're working on merchandise for. One of them for sure will have merchandise at the next show. And I'm not going to go into detail on who, but I'll leave that for the wrestlers to do on Twitter, for them to promote themselves. I'm just excited to be working with these guys. These guys are all fantastic. There's so much talent in that locker room. We're incredibly blessed. And the other thing too about the CWF Stream shirts, the only thing that I want to touch on that is it's a fantastic cause. American Lucha Designs is absolutely honored, privileged, and just a whole plethora of words I can't even begin to use to describe of how we feel that we've been approached to ask to do this shirt for such an important event. We're just so blessed to have this opportunity, and we're just going to put out the strongest, highest quality shirt that we can possibly put out. And that's really all I have to say about that. So definitely everybody buy the CWF Strong shirt. All those proceeds are going to a fantastic charity, and we're incredibly honored to be a part of that. As far as the wrestlers are concerned, every one of these guys has so much talent. We simply enjoy working with them. And we're really excited about some of the things we have coming out in the next couple of months, but I don't want to ruin any surprises, so we're just going to leave it at that.
That's awesome, man. No, I want to thank you very much for the phone call, sir, and you have a good night.
Yep, same to you, buddy.
Bye-bye. All right, that was Mario from American Lucha Designs calling in. Of course, AmericanLuchaDesigns.com for all your graphic design and merchandising needs. I tell you, I have an American Lucha Designs T-shirt, and the damn thing is comfortable as hell. It doesn't, it's very well made. It's not one of those where you wash it once and the logo falls off. So, getting back to Worldwide, episode 139, folks. Again, if you want to call in, 434-710-4900, I'll put you on the air, but we need to get through this episode of Worldwide. Let's talk about Ethan Alexander Sharp versus Chet Sterling here. There was they were talking about the weather. I love how they were talking about the weather on commentary, talking about that building. And as I've said many a times, the building itself, that sportatorium, is a character unto itself. It's cold as hell in the wintertime. I mean, they do have heaters in there sometimes, but it's cold in the winter. And 2 phone calls in one night. Yeah. It's cold as hell in the winter, and it's hotter than hell in the summertime. They do try to give us a little bit of heat and air occasionally. Shout out to Jerry Carey. But they do give us a little heat and air occasionally. But for the most part, to me, it adds to the charm. It's just like an armory show. If you go to an armory, armories, National Guard armories don't have heat or air, nor do they even try. So, I thought it was a real good job about the commentary mentioning the weather. And the commentary here with Cecil Scott and Smith Garrett. Nice to see Smith Garrett back. Haven't seen him on CWF TV at all since the Weaver Cup, when Logan Easton LaRoe got him quote-unquote eliminated. Nice to see Smith back. I know I've been critical about Smith Garrett here. If you go back and listen to the older episodes here, the After Show here on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button if you're listening to us for the first time. This was a really good match. Nice lariat by Ethan. Good pescado by Chet. The match ends with a blockbuster by Chet to finish Ethan off. It was a really good back and forth here. I'll be honest, I didn't get to see the match live that much because I was having a conversation with a certain somebody that will not be named here, and the conversation doesn't need to be mentioned in public because I was asked not to. But thank you. It was a really good match. Now that I've actually seen it here, I watched a little bit of it live. I was kind of glancing back and forth, but it was nice seeing it here on YouTube as well. We had Mike Mars versus Biggs, and here I'm going to be critical of these guys. I'm going to be critical here. The week before this show took place live, they had an RGL show. And on that Rising Generation League show, Mike Mars took on Cool J for the title. And Mike Mars lost that title. They mention it here on Worldwide, but I would have liked to seen the match. The match was filmed, from what I understand. Maybe the footage was just, again, that learning curve. Maybe the footage was just not suitable for YouTube or suitable for the air, so to speak. But they could have at least given us like a little, hey, this took place on such and such date, and now he doesn't have the title. They did mention it, though, but it's like, how did this happen? How does somebody like Cool J beat Mike Mars when Mike Mars took care of Dirty Daddy in record, in such fast paced at Battlecade? Yeah, a highlight of the K Fabian in the chat room, at least like a highlight of the finish. Absolutely. They gave us a highlight of last week on Worldwide. Why couldn't they give us, hey, this happened at the RGL show. This is why at least plug the RGL shows on the commentary going, hell, anything can happen at those RGL show, folks. You might want to start giving them a check out. Our next one is on such date. They didn't do that here. So we got Mike Mars versus Aaron Biggs. They said that Biggs, things have happened as of late. Mecha Mercenary has left CWF or was fired, as he put it. Biggs going on Twitter a day later saying that he's not affiliated with the Sandwich Squad. He's not affiliated with the Mecha Mercenary anymore. He's going on his own. And they acknowledge that here. They've, somebody's talking about the RGL. Yeah, he had a little help from his friends, did Cool J, but there's a picture out there that Sophia Moon put on Twitter, I think it was, with Snooty Fox in the background. Snooty Fox helping Cool J to win. Mike Mars in the chat room says, that match has some of my best work. I'm bummed that there was no record of it yet. Oh, there's record of it. From what I heard, it was taped. But anyway, they at least not acknowledged it. They could have been like WWE does time after time after time, since we're crossing the lines here in logic, and we got to have logic here. They could have done like WWE has done and said, oh, yeah, this guy's a champion now. Let's just roll with it. They didn't. They acknowledged it. They acknowledged Biggs is going on, and he's going to be a singles guy. Mike Mars chops Biggs in the match early on, and it just does nothing but piss Biggs off. Biggs reverses it around in the corner and chops the hell out of Mike. Mars slowing the pace down later on in the match, and they made acknowledge of that, and it was really good. It was, the story here was really well told. Big Samoan drop by Biggs, and what a landing by Mars on that Samoan drop. Get a big headbutt later in the match by Mars, and the finish ends up being that the headbutt goes into the Lou Thez press, and we have It's a Murder, That's a Murder by Cecil Scott. I missed that. He doesn't say that enough. I mean, that's just, I think that's like Cecil Scott's little catchphrase. It's a murder. So Aaron Biggs gets the win over Mike Mars, and I will say that from a live standpoint, the crowd didn't know about the Sandwich Squad stuff yet. Somebody goes, hey, Mike, did Cool J go over clean, or was it the RGL screw job? Ooh. So so I will tell you that the crowd after this match started chanting, eat, eat, eat. Biggs really didn't play into the chants live. They you heard a couple of eat, eat, eat chants before they cut away to it here on the YouTube show. And with good reason. They're moving on. New era. We got another thing that they did right on this show. It seemed like there was a good balance of pros and cons here. They did something that I'm sitting here wondering why they haven't done before now. They've plugged it on commentary, but we got an actual little insert for the event on February 10th. Now, I don't know if they're doing this just because it's February 10th. And I don't know if they're doing this just because of the T-shirts and everything, and because of the CWF Strong gimmick, if you will. It's not a gimmick, but anyway. They announced, hey, we got a show coming up on February 10th. They're promoting their future shows, their future tapings, if you will. That's something that I've said from the moment this after show started that I wish they would do. Instead of seeing a promo each and every week about how we can have our birthday party at the Sportatorium, with all due respect to Chastity Taylor, I'm glad she's back. It was nice seeing her again. How about flipping in another insert saying, hey, y'all, come out to the show, CL Party in the Event Center. Hey, come out, they do it for Battlecade. Why not do it all the time? Hey, come out to our taping. If you like what you see here on YouTube, you got to see us live. There's nothing like seeing CWF Mid-Atlantic live. You can see it live on X date at the Sportatorium. There's no better hype girl in the business than CL Party right now. They did a little bit of that here on this show, and I was glad to see it. Then we had Roy Wilkins versus Cool J here, and I tell you, I missed Jerry Carey. I like seeing Jerry Carey with the All-Stars. He's so good at what he does. There's an interview with Jerry Carey right here on the channel from FanCon last year. Check that out if you would like to. It's in the archives. Wilkins changed his tights. He came out earlier in the show with white tights on. He came back. He's got the traditional black tights on. Coach, I like how when Cool J got a new entrance. He's got actually, lighting. And so Cool J's entrance actually looked really cool live. It really did. And I love how they cut the Coach selling Cool J. He's laughing. Oh, my God, it's Cool J. This little guy's going to, it was great. It was good stuff. I will say again, the crowd earlier in the night kind of expected it. But I liked it. And the online crowd going, oh, my God, I heard he goes 20-something minutes with Cool J. How's that going to work? How about waiting for Wednesday? You'll find out. Just saying. I like how, they were going back and forth on Cool J, especially Smith Garrett here talking about, come on, man, he's a little guy, But, hey, they did respect Cool J. On the other side, you got some respect for Cool J. Hey, he made it through the dojo, and anybody who makes it through our dojo and can have a match, they're worthy of it. Kay Fabian goes, I thought this match was a dud. I liked this match. I thought it told a damn good story. Roy not taking it seriously and giving a tackle and going over arm wrenches and headlocks and everything like that. Cool J trying to attempt a dragon sleeper, gets cut off by Roy. Cool J then hits a calf kick and Hope comes alive in the arena. Then they start talking about how, and again, here's the thing. They kind of make a logic of this. They kind of make some logic here. The commentators do. They talk about what if Cool J beats Roy Wilkins? He's not the champion, but it would put him in, because Roy isn't the champion, but it would put him in the contendership for that title. And they go, well, if he does win the, quote-unquote, win the title, Roy's just going to beat Cool J up and take the belt back and run. Yeah? I think people more have an issue with the whole you took my title and I'm going to be a fake champion angle more than him defending it. I think that's the thing. Kay Fabian in the chat room. Roy is amazing. Did his best to make chicken salad out of chicken crap. Maybe. I thought the last few minutes of this match were amazing, though, with the dives by Cool J and the crowd during this match live. I got to tell you, they did their... I thought they, I'm sitting there wondering, I'm sitting there live, and everybody's sitting there going, oh, my God, you killed Cool J. And everybody's yelling out, you bastards. And they had a little kid in the crowd dressed as Star-Lord, and he would come up and point his gun at Roy Wilkins, and now the crowd would pop for it. It made me wonder how much of that was going to make air. And not a lot of it did. And I was kind of glad that they did not sell the Star-Lord thing for worldwide. We got a figure 4 by Roy with Coach, using the towel for leverage. And Cool J then says, fuck it, I'm going to go start just straight up body blows with the guy. I'm going to go to blows with the guy. And the commentary put that over. Hey, sometimes you got to dance with, the body blows and stuff. The part where, Cool J goes to do the splash into the turnbuckle or the spear into the turnbuckle and Roy moves and Cool J hits the middle turnbuckle with his head. That looks sick as hell to me. JG Enforcer. Star-Lord was over as fuck. Yes, he was. This kid came dressed as Star-Lord. He had the Star-Lord mask and the Star-Lord gun from Guardians of the Galaxy. He was... And here's what kills me. Yes, I went to Queens of Combat last weekend at the Sportatorium. And you had your usual 2 sweet, 1 fall bullshit going on. And to me, that kind of takes away from the overall feeling of a match, or overall feeling of a show. But this little kid didn't, so someone sang the Water Sucks song, Waterboy. Yeah. That's usually sung for John Schuyler in PWX. Roy, Cool J with the drop kick. It was freaking amazing. Both drop kicks that he did, especially that one off the top rope, the landing of that one, man. So we have Cool J diving, and he kind of overshoots the dive. So then he dives again on top of him. The fact that he dove twice was amazing to me. And live, it was amazing too. Once he started diving, the Star-Lord shit and everything that the crowd was doing went away, and people were like, oh, fuck, we got a good match going on here, So then after the dive, he got a missile drop kick, and he tries to go for the sliced bread, but no. Wilkins hits the waistland, but he takes too much time. He's getting some water. He's getting, wiping his face with a towel. He then puts on the 7th inning stretch, and Cool J gets to the ropes, pulls Roy over the top rope. Once they get back in the ring, he hits the sliced bread, but Coach distracts the ref. And then Wilkins hits the origatory for the win. It was a good match. I don't have a bad thing to... was it match of the year? No. Was it match of the night that night? No. But it was a decent match. It was good. It told a good story. It also puts in your mind, if they're going to further this angle with Roy Wilkins, quote-unquote, defending his title, he can't, who's he going to put it up against next? When is he going to have to? All right, he's going to put it up against champions. Does that mean next time he's fighting Eric Royal? Just saying, they could go that route. Again, people jumping to conclusions online. Oh, there's no logic. It's sports entertainment. Their book's fucked already. Give it a chance. Give us a call if you would like here. I'll hang on the air for a few more minutes. 434-710-4900. I thought it was a decent episode of Worldwide. Is it the best Worldwide episode ever? Hell no. Hell no. But again, I'm not going to instantly take the sky is falling mentality. Because, new camera guys got to find a learning curve, and maybe you don't like the angle that they're running right now. I don't know if Wasteland is Roy's new finisher. I don't like it. I much prefer the golf swing or something like that, but I don't like him using a Wasteland as a finisher. That's just me. Roy can do whatever the hell he wants. He's still going to be awesome. But, Again, I would like to thank our other sponsor tonight, Bullock's Engraving, out of Henderson, North Carolina. If you go to Bullock's Engraving in Henderson, North Carolina, go to www.bullocksengraving.com. If you go there and order something and mention the after show here, mention that you heard about Bullock's Engraving on the official, unofficial CWF Mid-Atlantic after show, the fine folks over at Bullock's Engraving will give you 10% off. So if you need something engraved, if you're in charge of a softball team and you need a bunch of trophies engraved, or you want to get a nice plaque made, Vince McMahon may not appreciate a fine plaque, but our people over at Bullock's Engraving do. They do fine engraving on plaques. Hell, they'll even do a replica of the plaque that was mentioned and shown on Raw 25 this past week. That's Bullock's Engraving for all your engraving needs. Again, mention the after show here. Mention that you heard about them on the after show. Tell them the after show sent you. You get 10% off. How about that? Got a couple other things here in the works for the channel. I want to mention something to you guys here. The audio version of the after show. I'm just relieved that at 9 p.m. there was a new episode of Worldwide. Worldwide, okay, here's how it was explained to me. Worldwide's not going anywhere. They're fully committed to keeping Worldwide going as long as it's getting views and as long as it's, generating some buzz for them. Is it their main priority? I don't know about that. Should it be their main priority? Again, they don't make a dime off that damn show. So, But I do want to mention something to you guys. The audio version of the official unofficial after show has been up. It's been getting good numbers. However, I'm not able to put more than a couple episodes of the after show, the audio version of the after show, up there in quite a while. And if you're listening to this in audio form, I encourage you to be here Wednesday at 10:30 Eastern each and every week live with us. Because if you're listening to the audio version of the show, that video we played, The Little Ninja That Could, you're going to hear that in audio form, and it's not going to make much sense. But we appreciate you listening to the audio form, and I want to be able to put the audio version, I want to be able to go back and put all of the episodes of the after show in audio form up on an iTunes, up on a Spreaker, or wherever I decide to host it. But hosting, you know, you got to pay for that somehow. And I'm looking to start a Patreon page. It's something I really don't want to do for the channel. But my goal is to, you know, if I could get, 25 Patreons chipping in $1 a month, that would help pay for hosting. It would help pay for equipment. I'm going to be getting merchandise soon made, so maybe I could do a reward where if you pledge a certain amount of money, I'll give you a shirt, something of that, that effect. I'm not going to launch it just yet, but I will let you know when it does launch, and if you guys want to help support this show and this channel, more importantly, the From Pillow to Post channel, I greatly appreciate it. I'm not, I couldn't do this show without you guys, so I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching and listening. Again, I want to thank all the CWF talent behind the scenes, in front of the camera, wrestlers, everybody at that promotion for your continued support of this after show. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to the after show this week. That's going to wrap it up for me, folks. I want to thank our callers for calling in. I want to thank our new subscribers. And we will see you at the Sportatorium.